Hey, it's the Rican, and today I'm gonna take a different approach to making a video today, talking about let's kind of slow with the news today. I mean, everything that's out there, it's stuff I've spoken about. So kind of I'm tired of repeating myself with some of the things I speak about. So I'm curious. This is a question to people who are coming across these videos and following me here. How many of you would be interested in a sports channel? I know there's plenty of sports channels, um, but are you tired of like the ESPNs where, let's say you know, they support all this woke nonsense? Do you want a channel where we could talk about sports and, call out, the LeBron James of the worlds, and and praise like the Ennis Cantor, where I mean, this guy seriously. If you've seen some of his interviews, I mean, he just recently got interviewed by Tucker Carlson, and I mean, he's talking about how he loves this country and how it was, he's honored to be a citizen, and how the people who think this country sucks, that you know uh, they're sadly mistaken. They really don't know what it's like to have a bad um, to live in a bad country, and it's like we're such a good country that people are which finding excuses. We've um we've made so much progress that we have microaggressions now, um that we they have to you know sift through everything to find racism and find discontent to have something to talk about. um and like I said, the ESPNs of the world, the NBCs, all this stuff, when they talk about sports, and they don't criticize none of this woke stuff. They don't say how it should. Um, we're talking about athletes that paid millions of dollars and talk about that they're oppressed. I mean, it's nonsense. You're talking about, like, I'll give you for example, I'm a Mets fan. Um, we just signed one of the best pitchers in the league for years, Max Scherzer. Um, and we had Marcus Stroman, and Marcus Stroman was complaining. I saw something where he was saying that he thinks it might be racism, but meanwhile, he's half black, half Puerto Rican, and the owner of the Mets is married to a Puerto Rican. So it's like, that's the problem, where people are just throwing out racism when it doesn't need to be thrown out there. And when it diminishes, when people just want to see, when people see white supremacy everywhere and racism everywhere, it diminishes real racism. It really does a disservice to when people legitimately experience racism, because it's the boy who cries wolf. Every time you hear it, even me now, I mean, I'm so desensitized to whenever you hear something's racist and you go, mm-hmm, right. Because, you get the Bubba Wallaces of the world who, um, you know, reported a noose, and the FBI went and wasted all these resources to find out it wasn't a noose. It was I forget what it was, but it's you get the Jesse Smolletts that make up these fake racial attacks. You have it around the country, and they'll jump on these stories and then never really, the correction will be in the back page. Like, I remember um, there was someone who in Philadelphia or something, forgot, they put the N word on a wall, and it turned out it was a black man who did it. And is there real racism out there? Yes, of course. But for the most part, these people already know that they're not accepted in the world. These real white supremacists, these real neo-Nazis, these real racist people, they keep their stuff quiet because they know they're not accepted in society. They don't, these people are like, oh, look, these white supremacists aren't scared. Bullshit. It's just because the fact that you want to paint everything with a broad brush. Any person who leans right, you want to paint with that broad brush. Even me, I was commenting on the Dallas Morning News put in an article about um, anti-Semitism and how we should take this time to talk about white supremacy. And I'm like, wait a minute. I don't know about Dallas, but I could tell you, like in New York, that in New York City, the anti-Semitic attacks that have been going on in New York, the vast majority of those attacks against not just anti-Semitic attacks, Asian attacks, also anti-Asian attacks, have been by Blacks and Hispanics. And I was called, what did she call me? She called me white wannabe. She told me I'm jumping for massa. So, those are why I comment on those things, is because I want someone like that to comment, because I'd love to try to wake up someone like that. She's someone that obviously sees, white supremacy everywhere. And, if a person of color disagrees, they're name any acceptable term that they'll call us. They'll call us a coconut, brown on the outside, white on the inside. They'll call us, they'll call an Asian person a banana, same concept. They'll call, they'll say coon, they'll say Uncle Tom. Notice I could say that, but I don't say N-word. But all those other words, I could say that and not get in trouble because it's accepted derogatory terms, because the left uses them and it's okay. I mean, the N-word shouldn't be acceptable either, but it's out there in the culture. People say it to each other, not as an insult anymore, but it's still out there in the vernacular. So anyways, like I said, I'll go back to my original topic, is how many people would be interested in that? Talking about sports from a, libertarian conservative perspective, calling out those athletes, something like Jason Whitlock does. They criticize him too because he won't stay in his lane. He's not someone, right now it's like, because the left have gone crazy, he's doing shows on the Blaze and all these channels, and he'll go on Tucker and all that. So, he's considered right wing, but he's that doesn't make him right wing. Just because that's where he's allowed to speak what he wants to speak about. So if this is where I really would like active comments, not just on my when I post it, but here in the comment section, because I'm curious to see what people's perspective is from this, because I know I'm going to get some hate, because I'm going to probably put this also on some sports pages and see what especially if I do it, or I might do broad sports stuff. I might talk about my favorite teams. Just depends what I get from feedback. So yeah, I'll leave it there. I don't want to rant on too long, but like I said, let me know what you think. I don't know if I should keep it on this channel. I've already created, just in case, I created a Right Rican Sports, because, excuse me, that like I said, is something I've been thinking about. I had it there just in case. So that's why I'm talking about it. Um, so let me know in the comments. Um, Follow me on YouTube or Rumble. That's where I post. Social media, Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, you name it. I can probably have it. If I don't, I'll eventually get it. All right. So with that being said, today's Friday. So I hope you guys have a good weekend.